Every time you strike a match, you're holding the result of a surprisingly complex factory process.
Behind this tiny flame is a huge industrial operation, running almost non-stop. In here, millions of wooden splints move like soldiers in formation, all waiting for their tiny heads of fire. This factory alone can produce enough matches in a day to light a small city for years.
But each of those tiny sticks has passed through dozens of steps to be safe and reliable.
Inside every box, the wood, the chemistry, and the striking surface all have to work together.
In this video, you'll see how raw timber becomes matchsticks, how heads are applied, and how the striking sides are made. We'll go from wood preparation to chemical dipping to boxing, quality control, and shipping. All of it happens under strict safety rules, because this is literally a factory full of controlled fire. From static electricity to dust, anything that might spark a fire has to be carefully managed. Let's step inside and see how these ordinary sticks are engineered not to burn until you want them to.
This line alone can turn out hundreds of matchboxes every minute.
Our journey starts where every match begins, at the woodyard.
Most wooden matches begin as carefully selected softwood logs, often from sustainably managed forests. The wood must be straight, with fine grain, and dry enough to cut cleanly. Damaged or knotty logs are rejected because they would break into uneven or brittle sticks. First, the bark has to go. Inside this spinning drum, steel ribs strip away the bark without damaging the core. The removed bark is usually burned for energy or turned into mulch. Nothing is wasted. Now debarked, these logs are ready to be turned into something much thinner. A special lathe peels the log like a giant pencil sharpener, creating long sheets of wood. Instead of cutting boards, the machine shaves off a continuous ribbon of thin veneer. This sheet will be sliced into narrow sticks that will become the match splints. Automatic cutters chop the veneer into strips, each the future length of a match.
From there, another set of blades divides the strips into hundreds of tiny splints each minute.
Each splint is only a few millimeters wide, yet it needs enough strength not to snap when you strike it.
The splints are shaken and spread out, aligning roughly in the same direction. Broken or too short pieces drop through screens and are removed from the process. Before they can carry a flame, the splints must be dried to a controlled moisture level. Gentle, heated air passes over them, drying evenly without scorching the wood.
Sensors constantly monitor temperature and humidity to keep the wood in the safe range.
The dried splints are now ready for their next transformation, arranging them into match frames. This machine lines up thousands of splints at once, standing them like tiny fence posts.
Right now, they're just dry pieces of wood, still unable to catch fire reliably.
Next, we'll see how they're treated to burn cleanly instead of charring and going out.
Before we add the match head, the wood itself gets a chemical upgrade.
The splints are dipped in a solution that makes them burn more steadily and resist moisture.
This treatment also helps prevent the flame from running too quickly down the stick, and
They emerge soaked, and now they need another round of drying.
Once dried again, they'll be ready to receive the famous colored tip.
While the wood is prepared, a separate area mixes the match head composition.
here, oxidizing powders, binders, color pigments, and other ingredients are blended into a paste.
The result is a thick, carefully controlled paste that will form the flammable tip.
Technicians check its thickness so it will cling to the wood without dripping.
Once ready, the paste is pumped into shallow troughs beneath the moving frames. In one smooth motion, thousands of tips dip in exactly the same depth. In just a few seconds, bare wood has turned into fields of matchsticks.
Any extra paste drips off and is collected to be filtered and reused. The heads must now dry slowly and evenly, so they don't crack or crumble.
Warm, controlled air flows over them in stages, carefully driving off moisture.
At first, the heads look glossy and soft, almost like wet paint. Fully dried, they become firm and slightly rough, ideal for catching friction.
Because this area is full of flammable material, strict spark and flame controls are in place.
Now the wooden part burns well and the head ignites easily, but it's only half the story.
These are safety matches, which are designed to ignite only on a specially prepared surface.
That's why the side of the box is just as important as the head itself.
This barcode links the matches to the exact recipe and conditions used when they were made.
Now the splints are released from their pins and funneled into tight, organized bundles. They are arranged in neat rows that match the dimensions of the final box.
Every match must face the same direction to fit properly and avoid breaking.
Meanwhile, another part of the factory is busy making the boxes and striking surfaces.
High-speed printers add branding, warning labels, and legal information in a single pass.
Safety warnings remind users that even a small flame must be treated with respect.
On the side, a special coating is applied that will become the striking surface.
This stripe contains ingredients that react with the match head only when you strike them together. Now the printed sheets are cut into precise shapes that can fold into matchboxes. The rough strip is now perfectly positioned for future strikes.
Back in everyday life, you might never guess the journey behind a simple box of matches.
But now you know that each splint, each head, and each striker was carefully engineered.
One quick strike turns years of forestry, minutes of machining, and seconds of chemistry into light.
From birthday cakes to power outages, matches quietly support moments big and small.
Behind that quiet flame is a loud, fast, and highly organized world of modern manufacturing.
From forest to flame, every step is designed for safety, reliability, and convenience. If you enjoyed seeing the real process behind this everyday product, make sure to subscribe for more factory stories from around the world.
There's a whole universe of hidden factories, turning raw materials into the things you use every day.